They've stood for over 4,500 years, but what lies inside the Great Pyramid of Giza has baffled explorers, scientists, and mystics alike. These monuments, older than many of the world's religions, more enduring than most civilizations, still keep their deepest secrets locked in stone. What did the ancient Egyptians bury deep inside them? Just outside modern Cairo, where the Nile bends and the desert stretches wide and still, the pyramids rise like sentinels of another world. The Great Pyramid, built for Pharaoh Khufu around 2560 BC, dominates the horizon, not just in size but in mystery. It's the last remaining wonder of the ancient world. A structure made from over 2 million blocks of limestone and granite, some weighing as much as 80 tons. They were placed with such precision that even a razor blade can't slip between some joints. Yet it was built without the wheel, without iron tools, and without modern machinery. That's something that still leaves engineers puzzled today. But even more mysterious than how it was built is what lies within. When you approach the Great Pyramid, you feel it before you understand it. The shadow it casts is more than physical. It's historical, spiritual, almost otherworldly. People describe a silence in its presence, as though time slows. As though the air itself holds its breath. Today, tourists and researchers enter through a modern passage, cut by explorers in the 9th century CE. But the original entrance lies just above, cleverly hidden, built to blend in with the surrounding stone, and it worked. For over 3,000 years, no one could find a way in. Step inside and the light fades. The temperature drops. The air grows still. You're inside a space untouched by time. The corridor ahead slopes downward. This is the descending passage. Just over 3 feet tall, barely wide enough for a person to crouch through, it leads deep into the bedrock beneath the pyramid. This passage ends at a chamber carved roughly into the rock, the so-called subterranean chamber. It's an odd space. Unlike the rest of the pyramid, it's unfinished. Its walls are jagged, irregular. A narrow pit was dug in one corner, but no one knows why. There's no decoration, no artifacts, no evidence of burial. Was it an abandoned plan? A symbolic chamber? A decoy for tomb raiders? Its purpose, like so much else, remains unclear. Climb back up, and another passage branches upward. It ascends into the heart of the pyramid, and into what feels like another dimension. The tunnel opens into the Grand Gallery, an engineering marvel in itself. It stretches nearly 150 feet long and 28 feet high, with corbelled walls that slope inward as they rise, creating a space both functional and symbolic. This gallery leads to the most important chamber in the pyramid, the King's Chamber. It is a simple room, but the silence here feels heavier. The walls are made of red granite, quarried hundreds of miles to the south in Aswan. The only object inside is a large, lidless sarcophagus. It's empty. It always was. No mummy. No treasure. No funerary goods. Above this chamber lie 5 horizontal cavities, each separated by huge granite slabs. These are called relieving chambers, designed to distribute the weight of the stone above so that the chamber wouldn't collapse. When one of them was first explored in the 1800s by Colonel Howard Weiss, he found something that changed history: red paint markings on the stone, spelling the name Khufu in hieroglyphs. This was the only direct evidence linking the pyramid to the pharaoh. But Weiss' discovery isn't without controversy. Some Egyptologists and historians question whether the markings were genuine or added by Weiss himself to secure funding and fame. To this day, there's no consensus. Not far from the King's Chamber is another curious room, the so-called Queen's Chamber. Misnamed, as no queen was buried here, it lies lower in the pyramid structure. It too is empty. Its purpose is hotly debated. Some suggest it held ritual significance. Others believe it may have been Khufu's actual burial chamber before construction plans changed. But the Queen's Chamber holds another mystery, a pair of small shafts, too narrow for a person to enter. For centuries, no one knew where they led. Then, in 1993, a tiny robot equipped with a camera and tools was sent into the southern shaft. After crawling forward for 65 meters, it encountered something astonishing: a small stone door with 2 metal pins embedded in it. No one knew what was behind it. In 2002, another robot, developed for the Jetty project, drilled through the stone and inserted a fiber optic camera. It revealed another sealed chamber. A void. With another door. What lies behind the second door is still unknown. But the mysteries don't stop there. In 2017, an international team of researchers using cosmic ray muon radiography, a scanning technique that detects voids inside massive structures, discovered a large, previously unknown cavity above the Grand Gallery. It's over 30 meters long, the size of a passenger jet, and completely inaccessible. There are no known tunnels leading to it. It could be a second Grand Gallery, a hidden burial chamber, a symbolic structure, or something else entirely. This discovery was a breakthrough, the first major internal find in over a century. But without access, it remains a void of speculation. There's a striking absence of inscriptions inside the pyramid. Unlike later tombs, there are no hieroglyphs, no scenes of the afterlife, no Book of the Dead, just stone. Silent, immense, intentional. But some argue that the pyramid's internal architecture was meant to be symbolic, a journey of the soul. The subterranean chamber represents the underworld, the queen's chamber symbolizes rebirth, and the king's chamber represents ascension. Others believe the entire pyramid was a spiritual engine, a place of initiation for the pharaoh, or perhaps for priests. Alternative theorists offer more radical ideas. Some claim the pyramid was never a tomb at all, but a power plant of sorts, using the Earth's natural vibrations and the properties of granite and limestone to generate energy. Others point to the alignments. The pyramid is perfectly aligned to true north, with a margin of error of just 3/60th of a degree. Its proportions reflect mathematical constants like pi and the golden ratio. Its air shafts point to specific stars in Orion and Sirius, stars deeply linked to Egyptian mythology. Coincidence? Or cosmic design? There's even a story, perhaps apocryphal, that Napoleon Bonaparte once spent a night inside the king's chamber. When he emerged, pale and shaken, he refused to speak of what he experienced. When asked, he simply replied, "You would not believe me if I told you." Many Arab historians of the Islamic Golden Age believe the pyramids were built before the Great Flood, by a race of ancient sages trying to preserve knowledge. They claimed the pyramids were filled with scrolls, astronomical devices, and maps of the stars. No such objects have been found, or at least none revealed. So what really lies inside the Great Pyramid? The answer, it seems, is both less and more than we expected. No golden sarcophagus. No sealed chambers lined with treasure. Just carefully crafted corridors, empty rooms, and unanswered questions. And yet, that emptiness is powerful. The Great Pyramid invites us not just to see, but to wonder. It asks us to question what we think we know about the past. About engineering. About death. About purpose. Because maybe the pyramid wasn't built to store something. Maybe it was built to say something. It speaks through its scale. Through its silence. Through its refusal to give up all its secrets. In an age where we can send probes to Mars, we still cannot say for certain what lies inside this monument that predates every empire we've ever known. The Great Pyramid does not just house mystery. It is a mystery. And perhaps that's why it still stands. Not because of the stone, but because of the story. Because some monuments were not built merely to mark time, but to defy it. And maybe, just maybe, the real treasure inside the Great Pyramid of Giza is the invitation to wonder. Thank you for watching. This is History in My Skin. Subscribe for more amazing discoveries.